Important alert. They are fighting over you. Someone, my dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this is not just a message. This is the divine line between what was and what will be. 2 hours remain. Archangel Michael is commanding this be opened. They are fighting over you. You were mentioned by name. One person screamed in tears that you belonged to them. Another person threw something across the room. The room fell into silence when your name was spoken. They said you are a light in human form, someone marked for divine purpose. And yet there are those who are trying to take that light and distort it. Right now in places you've never walked. People you've never spoken to are deciding your fate without your permission. They are watching you, calculating, observing your every move. Some with jealousy, some with fear, some with pure love. One is rising, one is hiding, one is obsessed, and another is praying every single night to hear your voice again. These truths were not supposed to reach you yet. But Archangel Michael refused to wait any longer. He stood at the gates and said, "Send the message now. We can't delay it even for another breath." There is a dangerous fight happening in the spirit world and you are at the center of it. Not because of what you've done wrong, but because of who you are and who you are about to become. You carry something ancient in your soul. And the moment you walked into this lifetime, the energy around you started to shift the atmosphere. Even as a child, strangers looked at you longer than usual. Some were drawn to you instantly. Others avoided you. Do you know why? Because they could feel it. The presence of heaven walking in human form. And now that same presence has triggered something massive. Someone has spoken your name before a council of shadows. And someone else has spoken it before a council of angels. You are being discussed on both sides. They are fighting over you. One side wants your spirit silenced, the other has vowed to protect your soul with everything. A man recently visited a temple in your name. He asked a question about you. He asked if he should pursue you or protect you. He was told both. Another person, a woman you know but cannot trust, has been eavesdropping into your life. She spoke to someone about you. She called you a threat. She told them, if they rise any further, we're all exposed. You don't realize it, but every step you've taken has already caused ripples in the timeline of people around you. Some are getting nervous. Some are in awe. And one person is in a panic because they know what they did and they know it's about to come out. God says, I held this back until now because the timing was not yet ripe. But as of this hour, something irreversible has begun. This is not to scare you. This is to awaken you. There's a secret that's been hidden in an envelope. That envelope was meant for you, but someone else opened it. They saw the truth, and they buried it. Archangel Michael witnessed this betrayal, and now he's shouting from the heavens, "Do not let this soul fall victim to silence again." Two people have access to something that was never theirs, a document, a piece of your inheritance, a decision. One of them was caught red-handed by a spiritual force. Their hands trembled. They backed away, but the damage had already been done. The other person still believes you'll never know. God says they thought you'd never awaken, but you just did. And now everything must shift. Listen carefully, because your spiritual team has been sending signs like feathers, repeating numbers, flickering lights, sudden dreams of people you haven't thought of in years, and unexplained moments of emotional overload. All of it was preparing you for now. They are fighting over you, not just romantically, not just emotionally, but spiritually. One person said, "If I can't have them, no one will." Another said, "I will wait for them, until the stars fall from the sky." These words were spoken with such intensity that the ground beneath their feet shook. Archangel Michael stepped in to break the tension, but the ripple is still active. You may feel random anxiety, sudden tears, heart-racing moments that have no clear cause. This is not in your head. This is energetic war. Michael now stands by your side, sword in hand, shielding you from the darts being thrown your way. But even he cannot do everything unless you say yes to your calling. You have to make a choice. Either stay silent and let others decide your destiny, or rise up and reclaim it. Now someone is pretending to support you but is deeply threatened by your glow. They compliment you, then secretly compete with you. God has shown you glimpses. You've had dreams about betrayal, warnings in your gut, intuition that something is off. Don't ignore that anymore. You were right. You were not imagining it. They want your path. They want your favor. But what's written for you cannot be stolen unless you give it away through doubt or delay. The person who loves you is under attack, too. The one whose heart is tied to yours has been manipulated. Lies were whispered in their ear. They were told things about you that are not true. They were told you're dangerous, or dishonest, or cursed. But the truth, you were the blessing sent to shift their entire life. And someone did not want that to happen. This person still thinks of you, still aches for you, still remembers the way you once looked at them when no one else could see. They want to speak to you, but something or someone keeps stopping them. You are being blocked not by God, but by human choices and hidden agendas. God says, your name is in rooms you've never entered. Your future is being edited by hands that don't belong to you. But I am rewriting it now. There is a document, a deal, a connection. It was meant to arrive by now but was delayed intentionally. Archangel Michael intervened. He cut through that delay, and now within 2 hours an opening will emerge. You must not ignore this. Michael's voice echoed this morning, calling your name. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. He said, "Wake them up now. Tell them it's time." The reason, because someone you love is at a breaking point. They are about to make a dangerous choice. They are acting out of fear. But if they knew you still believed in them, they would change everything. There's more. A family member is hiding something massive, a truth, a connection to someone you were never meant to meet but did. That meeting changed your fate. That moment created a karmic link, and ever since nothing has felt the same. That's not a coincidence. That was the moment the war over you began, and it's about to reach a breaking point. Someone said you are a miracle, and someone else said you are a threat. These opinions are battling in the spirit realm, but only you can decide which one becomes true. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to live a quiet, hidden, powerless life. You were sent here to shift history. To uncover deception, to open doors that no one could open, but you keep shrinking, dimming your light to make others comfortable. That ends now. Michael is pacing. He's never been this urgent before. You've had signs before, but this time the urgency is divine. He says, "Tell them they have no more time to wait." 2 hours. That's it. Before the opportunity closes, before someone else signs a deal in their place, before the silence becomes permanent, someone is about to confess something. Not because they want to, but because the divine pressure is rising. Their lips will shake. Their hands will tremble. But the words will come out. I lied. I hid this. I did something I'm not proud of. You will be tempted to hate them, to run. But if you listen to God's voice, you'll know what to do. The person who said you are was cut off in the vision. The message wasn't complete. But Archangel Michael said they called you something sacred, something heavenly, something only your true soul partner would know. That message was intercepted. It's being decoded right now. You will receive confirmation within hours. Don't stop now. Don't second guess this message. You asked for clarity. You begged for answers. This is it. This is the moment. God says, don't fear the truth. Fear the silence that comes when you ignore it. Everything will begin moving faster after you accept what is happening. Your finances, your love life, your location, your health, your gifts. It's all connected. The reason it's felt stuck because this spiritual war has been draining your energy without your awareness. You've been waking up tired, overwhelmed, random pain in your body, sudden bursts of emotion. That is not random. That is warfare. And now Michael has cleared the battlefield. God says, I have removed what you cannot see. I have silenced what you didn't know was whispering against you. Now you must speak. Declare your truth. Reclaim your life. Say yes to your calling. They are still fighting over you. Even as you read this, but the light is winning. Michael is shining and your soul is waking up. Now you have 2 hours. Watch what happens. God says your name was spoken in a room where you were not invited. You weren't even aware that a battle had already begun and the center of it was you. 2 sides divided by desire, by jealousy, by desperation and truth stood before one another. And your name trembled in their mouths like fire, waiting to burn everything to the ground. God says there are just 2 hours left for you to receive this message in time, because after that the decision will be made without you. Someone said you are a problem. Someone else defended you with everything they had, and it shook the very foundation of the spiritual realm. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. Archangel Michael has now stepped in. He says, this is not a message to keep for later. This is not a message to save for the end of the day. This is a spiritual emergency. Michael says, don't you dare scroll past this like it's nothing. Your future is trembling on the edge of a sword that's about to fall. And I cannot protect you if you don't open your spirit right now. God has been watching silently as people you love speak 2 versions of your name. One praises you in daylight, the other curses you in secret darkness. They are fighting over what they believe you are and what they fear you are becoming. One side sees you as a divine vessel of change, hope, abundance, and love. The other sees you as a threat to their comfort, a mirror that reflects everything they are not willing to become. Someone stood up and shouted, he is rising too fast. Who gave them the right to be chosen? And someone else slammed their hand on the table and said, because God did. God says you have been chosen, but the world around you is trying to vote on something that heaven already decided. And now the war has escalated beyond this earth. Your name has passed through meetings, dreams, prayers, and conspiracies. And in the middle of this storm is a cry from your spirit asking, God, why do I feel this heavy energy lately? That's why there are spiritual forces trying to define your future without your permission. They are fighting over you because some of them want to stop you before you realize your full power. Someone said you are dangerous. Not because you harm, but because when you finally know who you are, no one can control you again. That's the threat. Archangel Michael was dispatched to shield your name and hold your place in the divine court. He says, I saw what they said. I heard the whispers and the screams and I fought back. I defended your name in front of the ones who doubted you. I stood in front of the ones who said you were lying about your pain, faking your strength, pretending to be good. And I said, this one belongs to heaven. God says, you don't even know how many rooms your name has entered. You don't know the way some of them have tried to erase your story, revise your pain, and rewrite your future with lies. But I do. And God continues, do not be afraid. I did not bring you this far just to let them decide your ending. But I need you to listen. I need you to feel the seriousness of this moment, because what happens in the next 2 hours of spirit time will shift the rest of this year. You are being pulled by two energies right now. One that wants to elevate you beyond what you thought possible, and one that wants to trap you in fear, confusion, and false promises. The one pulling you down is loud, manipulative, pretending to love you while secretly placing doubts in your heart. The one lifting you is quieter, patient, sometimes hard to hear, but it's divine. It is God. It is Michael. It is truth. And in that truth, a revelation is unfolding. There is someone who claims to love you, but they are feeding your name into circles that want to harm you. They say things like, I just want to protect them. But behind closed doors, they are painting your image with strokes of suspicion and jealousy. They do not want to see you grow past their control. Michael says, this person wears a mask of concern, but behind it they fear your success because it exposes their stagnation. They are fighting over you not to keep you safe but to keep you small. Another person, however, is in deep agony, because they see what is being done to your name and they feel helpless. They've tried to speak on your behalf, but every time they do they are silenced. One of your silent protectors has cried recently, not tears of sadness, but frustration because they know what you deserve, but feel blocked from helping you reach it. God says, I am removing the blockage. Now, God is raising a banner of protection over you in the spiritual realm. You may have felt attacks lately, sudden headaches, strange dreams, emotional confusion, tiredness for no reason, arguments out of nowhere. That was not random. That was the echo of the spiritual fight over your life. Someone said you are a liar. God said this one speaks truth. Someone said you are too sensitive. God said this one carries the gift of discernment. Someone said you don't deserve this blessing. God said, then why did I give it to them? The divine realm has spoken, but the earthly realm has not yet caught up. That's why Michael is here to protect you during the delay. He is fighting not just with his sword, but with the justice of heaven. He is slicing through lies, illusions, gossip, energy attacks, and invisible snares. But Michael says something serious now. If they win this time, it's because you ignored the final warning. Yes, this is your final warning to awaken, to stop tolerating the energy of those who dim your light. To stop negotiating with those who gaslight your worth. To stop confusing comfort with purpose. There's someone who wants to come back, into your life just to delay you again. Watch carefully. They will say all the right things. They will pretend they've changed, but their spirit is not aligned with your new frequency. If you allow them back, you may delay your blessing another 6 months or more. Do not delay what God has prepared for you just to comfort someone who only loves the old version of you. God says, I made you new for a reason. Let the old fall away. Right now, somewhere in the spirit, there is a trembling silence. A decision is being weighed, not by human hands, but by divine will. You are being considered for something massive, something life-changing, a financial breakthrough, a relocation, a revelation of truth, an unexpected inheritance, a letter, a healing, a divine relationship. But it all hinges on whether you truly awaken to this message. Someone said they won't listen. They'll ignore this. Michael said, we'll see, because right now 2 hours remain. A gate in the spirit is about to close, and with it an entire timeline of favor. If you open this message with your soul, and if you believe, not just wish, not just hope, but believe, God will rear out everything that was meant to stop you. Even the betrayals will serve you. Even the gossip will promote you. Even the pain will prophesy. Michael is holding back an army of false narratives about you. He's standing with wings of fire in front of those who wish to bury you in manipulation and lies. But his strength depends on your surrender, not to fear but to divine timing. God says they are fighting over you because you are rising. Don't you dare shrink to make them comfortable. They said you are dangerous. Yes. To injustice. They said you are a threat. Yes. To every system that tried to define you without knowing your truth. They said you don't deserve it. God says, then why did I call their name before they even knew how to pray? Your whole life has been a preparation for this moment. The losses, the delays, the loneliness, the cries that nobody saw, the deep nights of silence. It was all forging a new strength in you, because the assignment coming to you requires a resilience not everyone has. And now God says it's time, but only if you rise. Someone in your bloodline tried to curse your progress. They whispered things they didn't even believe fully because they were afraid of your transformation. God says, I am breaking ancestral chains right now. I am untying knots placed around your destiny. You will not repeat the patterns of those who gave up before they saw the promise. Michael says this is your rescue moment, but only if you listen. Right now, someone is planning to contact you. Be careful. Not all voices come with love. Some come with agendas. Ask your spirit, how do they make me feel after I speak with them? Do I feel empowered or drained? If it's the second, do not return. God is about to send you 3 signs in the next 24 hours. Pay attention. One will come as a dream, one as a repeating phrase or symbol, and one will come as a person unexpectedly saying something your soul has been waiting to hear. Do not dismiss any of them. Time is moving. 2 hours in the spirit realm can change years in the physical. Michael is weeping because he has fought for you for so long. He doesn't want you to fall asleep at the gate of your breakthrough. He's shouting in the spirit. Please open your eyes. Please see what's at stake. This is more than a message. This is your moment. Someone said you are a miracle in motion. They were right. Someone said you are untouchable by darkness. They were right. Someone said you are protected by angels. They were right. And now God says, my child, I have seen enough. I have waited long. I have endured their doubts about you. I have counted every tear, every betrayal, every false word spoken. And now I declare it is finished. Your rise cannot be stopped. But you must walk through the door I am opening for you. And you must do it now. You is shaking, tingling, rising because the Holy Spirit is bearing witness within you right now. The divine has waited patiently while you questioned, while you doubted, while you overlooked the signs. But now this cannot be delayed. What was hidden must be exposed. What was silently poisoning your atmosphere must be named. You cannot keep pretending not to see it. You cannot keep brushing off what your spirit has been warning you about for months. The shift is here and the veil is being lifted. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword. The angels are on your rooftop. And God says, this isn't a game, your house is about to become the center of something massive. You must understand what is happening. There is movement in the spirit realm, there is agitation in the enemy's camp. Demonic entities are being stirred into frenzy because they see what's coming toward you. Your destiny is no longer delayed, your restoration is no longer suspended. Your name has been spoken in high places. Your identity has been stamped with glory. Your favor has been confirmed. And that is why suddenly everything feels intense. That is why you've been under mental attack. That is why you've been restless, anxious, suspicious. That's not paranoia. That's prophetic warning. And God says your house is being marked by heaven and hell. The forces of darkness are attempting one last move to infiltrate your space. That is why Archangel Michael says, your house will soon be crowded, but not with people you chose, not with guests you welcomed. They are coming with assignment, not visible to the eye, but their influence is already at your door, spirits sent to distract, to monitor, to confuse. And some of them are hiding behind familiar faces, neighbors, old friends, friendly helpers. But behind the smile is sabotage. Behind the laughter is a plan to trap you in a cycle you just escaped. And now God won't allow you to walk into it blind. You asked for protection. You asked for discernment. And now you must receive it. There is a woman nearby, someone you trusted, someone you allowed close, but she has carried your name into the wrong conversations. She has partnered with forces that want to delay your blessing. She wears the face of concern, but behind it is jealousy. And God says the mask is about to fall. You will hear a conversation. You will see a message. You will witness a strange shift. Do not dismiss it. That is the exposure. That is me, says the Lord. That is your confirmation. And when you see it, do not return to her. Do not entertain it. Do not water what I've already uprooted. The atmosphere in your home is being watched. There are eyes that scan your windows, not just to see inside, but to pull from you. You carry light. Your energy fills the space like a flame. And those who sit in darkness feel drawn to it. But not all come with good intention. Some want to extinguish it. Some want to bottle it. Some want to mirror it and take credit for what they never carried. That's why the walls in your house have heard so many battles. That's why your sleep has been disrupted. That's why you felt the need to pray at random hours. Your spirit knows something is lurking. You've felt it. You've sensed it. And now God is giving you eyes to see, because this is more than just neighbors being nosy. This is about an infiltration attempt. God says, I've dispatched angelic security to your location, but you must obey the instructions. Clean your house spiritually. Anoint the corners, speak life into your walls. Break every tie with energy not sent from me. Stop entertaining those who drain you. Stop excusing behaviors that leave you confused. Your time for compromise is over. Your time for pretending is over. You've been too quiet for too long. And that silence has allowed dark things to walk freely in places they don't belong. But now you must take authority. This is your home. This is your temple. This is your domain. No spirit of confusion, no entity of chaos, no visitor with an assignment of destruction is permitted to dwell here anymore. The exposure will be uncomfortable. Some of the people involved will shock you. Some of the conversations will feel like betrayal. Some of the signs will feel too surreal to be true. But they are real. The neighbors you wave to casually, they've spoken about you. They've wondered about your blessing. And one of them has tried to interfere, not just through gossip, through spiritual means. They've consulted someone about you. They've shown pictures. They've asked questions. They've sown seeds of jealousy in the spirit realm. But what they didn't know is that you are protected by divine fire. You are covered by the presence of the Holy, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Archangel Michael says, this message was delayed 3 times by dark interference. That's why your spirit felt distracted when you tried to pray. That's why your technology glitched. That's why your mind wandered. The enemy did not want you to receive this, but you are reading it now, and that means the battle has already shifted in your favor. Heaven will not be silenced. You are too important. Your destiny is too precious. God says, I have waited long enough. I am not letting them deceive you again. There is a blessing that was delayed 3 years ago. Someone close to you spoke against it. They sowed doubt into a conversation about you. A woman. She pretended to help but instead blocked what was meant to be yours. And now that same blessing is trying to return. But she has noticed. She has felt it. She has sensed the shift and she is trying to block it again. But this time she will fail because this time you will see her clearly. You will hear her tone. You will discern her spirit and you will walk away. God is saying, I am removing false alignment from your life. You cannot go into the next season with people who hate you privately but hug you publicly. You cannot be yoked to spirits that undermine your elevation. You are stepping into royalty. You are stepping into visibility. And I refuse to let sabotage follow you there. That's why I'm speaking now. That's why Michael is warning you. Because there is a 1-minute window of awakening. After that, choices must be made, and consequences will follow. You have the authority. You have the insight. You have the protection. Now you must have the obedience. When you feel the warning in your spirit, listen. When the conversation doesn't sit right, withdraw. When the person shows you their real self, believe them. You are not crazy. You are not overthinking. You are prophetic. You are sensitive. You are in tune with my voice, says the Lord. And I'm speaking louder now than ever before. Because I'm not just protecting your home. I'm preparing your inheritance. Very soon your house will be filled, but not with chaos, with divine presence, with laughter again, with stability, with joy, with answers, with miracles, with reunions, with fresh opportunities, with unexpected financial provision, but it cannot be filled until the false is removed. Until the watchers are sent away, until the neighbor's energy is blocked, until the woman's spell is broken. And that begins with this word, with this moment, with this spiritual exposure. Finally, God is exposing this woman. And when He does, let her go. Don't argue. Don't plead. Don't chase. Just thank God. Because what He removes now is what would have destroyed your next. What He reveals now is what would have poisoned your peace. What He ends now is what would have delayed your promise again. But no more delay, no more confusion, no more compromise. The time is now. The warning is clear. The sword is drawn. The house is surrounded by angels. And the neighbors will soon see a glow they can't deny. That glow is your anointing. That fire is your favor. That protection is your divine inheritance. And no matter how many eyes peer through the windows, no matter how many mouths whisper behind the walls, you are covered. The 3 hours have passed. Heaven has waited in silence. The angels stood still, watching you make your decision. Archangel Michael did not leave your side for even a second. He stood between you and the trap. And now the moment has come. The final second has passed. And in that instant, something in the spirit realm shook. God says, now the veil is torn. The truth is no longer hidden, and the woman who was setting the trap, she is now fully exposed. Her shadow cannot hide behind borrowed light anymore. She cannot manipulate the narrative anymore. The light of heaven has come down like a sword cutting through the web she so carefully spun. Something you cannot see yet has broken. And that brokenness is your freedom. A cycle that was repeating again and again has just shattered, because you obeyed. Because you opened your eyes. Because somewhere in your spirit, you chose truth over comfort. You chose God's voice over emotional confusion. And heaven has responded. The trap was real. It had a time, a date, and a place. It was meant to be wrapped in something that looked like love. It was meant to steal your discernment, hijack your destiny, and delay you for years. But the second the hour passed and you didn't walk into it, it collapsed. The enemy failed. The woman is stunned. She doesn't understand why her influence is suddenly slipping. She doesn't understand why the energy shifted, why the hold she thought she had over you is suddenly dissolving. But God says, it's because my hand is on you. And when my hand is upon someone, no scheme can stand. You may not feel it yet, but heaven is celebrating. Angels are dancing around you because you have just exited a trap that was prepared long ago. A trap that has caught others. A trap that was supposed to bury you in regret and spiritual confusion. A trap that looked like a gift but carried poison. The woman who created it did not act alone. She had spiritual agreements. She made vows in darkness thinking no one saw her. But God was there watching. Measuring, weighing, and God says enough. Her season of invisibility is over. She cannot hide her hands anymore. The fingerprints of her betrayal are now visible to those she lied to. The circle around her is shifting. Conversations she manipulated are falling apart. Her influence is being reversed. The people she whispered to about you, now they are hearing the truth. Not from you, but from heaven. Your name is being cleared. Your spirit is being vindicated. And the woman who thought she could sabotage your favor is watching her own ground shake beneath her. There's more. Because she had a plan within the plan, a deeper trap that went beyond friendship, beyond opportunity. Beyond presence. She wanted to implant herself into your future permanently. She wanted to merge with your destiny and carry your light while slowly silencing your voice. It wasn't about friendship. It was about control. She studied your gifts and began to mimic them. She studied your rhythm and began to shadow you. She wrapped herself in your presence, hoping the world would confuse the two of you. She wanted people to say she's just like them. But she is not. And now heaven has made that distinction permanent. You may soon hear from her, a sudden message, a strange apology, a confused call. But do not be moved. Do not be fooled. This is not repentance. It is panic. She knows the light is on her. She can feel her mask melting. And she may try one last time to emotionally manipulate you. But remember, 3 hours ago, God gave the final warning. And now that the veil is torn, you must stay awake. You must not go back to sleep. You must not re-enter the emotional fog that God just cleared. Because if you return, the next trap will be stronger. If you walk back into what God just delivered you from, it will not be as easy to escape again. You are entering a spiritual courtroom now, a place where angels testify on your behalf. Where your obedience is recorded, where contracts made in darkness are being overturned. This woman tried to sign her name over your breakthrough. She wanted credit for your climb, but God says the crown is not hers. The victory belongs to you. You are being given divine separation. It may feel lonely, but it's sacred. You are being pulled out of a web. Even the invisible strings are being burned. God is not just removing her presence. He is removing her residue. The spiritual fingerprints she left are being cleansed by heaven's fire. Don't expect everyone to understand. Some people were enchanted by her charm. Some are still under the influence. But light always wins. And slowly they too will see. You don't have to fight for them to believe you. You don't have to defend yourself. Heaven has already spoken on your behalf. Archangel Michael has made it clear. This one is covered. This one is chosen. This one cannot be deceived anymore. And now the spiritual world knows it, too. The demons that watched you fall before, now they tremble because they realize you are no longer vulnerable to the same tricks. They see that you've awakened. And when a chosen one awakens, entire timelines shift. The protection around you has increased. The clarity in your spirit will sharpen. The confusion that once made you doubt yourself is fading. And the blessings that were held back until this moment, now they are being released. Expect sudden alignment. Expect people to come forward with truth. Expect revelations that once felt hidden to now flow effortlessly. The exposure of the woman triggered a domino effect. Other hidden enemies are being pulled out. Other traps are being dismantled. This wasn't just about her. It was about every seed of sabotage that ever tried to grow in your garden. Heaven is purging your field because your harvest is overdue. The woman will feel the shift, too. Her spiritual access has been revoked. Her ability to mimic your energy is fading. She may try to take credit for your success, but it will fall flat. God is making sure that no one can steal your testimony. Every ounce of pain you endured, every betrayal you survived, every tear you cried, it is now being transformed into power. And no counterfeit can claim your reward. She is watching the gates close. The favor she tried to siphon is being returned to you. And the spiritual contracts she forged without your knowledge, they're being torn apart, burned by the fire of heaven. Now is the time to walk boldly. Do not second-guess this exposure. Do not question the message that heaven gave you. You are not being dramatic. You are not imagining things. This was spiritual warfare, and you just won a major battle. The realm is watching, and heaven is applauding. You passed the test. You saw the mask, you walked away, and now you are being led into the next season with power, clarity, and divine protection. Do not look back. She was part of the lesson, not part of the legacy. This is your release. And the next doors that open for you, they will be pure. They will be real. They will be holy. God says this moment is no ordinary hour. This is the moment your soul has waited for. Silently hoping, gently trembling, under the weight of unanswered questions and unspoken prayers. Archangel Michael is not whispering this time. He is declaring with divine force. This is not a joke. What is about to unfold is real, urgent, and it's coming directly to your doorstep. A warning from heaven is sounding louder than ever, and it's meant only for you. The veil between the spiritual and physical has thinned for you tonight. That's why you've been feeling strange waves of energy. That's why something hasn't felt quite right inside your house lately. That's why your dreams have been intense, confusing, and filled with symbols you couldn't understand until now. Archangel Michael says, important alert, very soon your house will be crowded with beings not all visible to the eye. Some are divine messengers sent to assist. Some are spirits of protection, but some are not here to help. Some were attracted by something placed around you by someone who pretended to be a friend but is not. You thought your home was your sanctuary, but heaven says it's time to spiritually cleanse it immediately. God is not letting this go unseen anymore. Your neighbors, they're not as silent as you think. God says their whispers have turned to discussion. Some have been gathering more than just words. Some are watching you. Some are discussing things about you behind closed curtains. A few of them, yes, including one you trusted, has said something about you that wasn't true. That false word has now created an invisible cloud of tension around your area. But Archangel Michael says, do not panic. That is not what this message is for. This message is not to scare you. It's to empower you, because you were chosen. Because you are the light in the middle of the darkness. The reason the darkness came near is because it sees your light as a threat. But God says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Tonight, tomorrow, and over the next few days, the energy around you will intensify. You may hear noises that have no source. You may feel watched even when no one is visible. This is not paranoia. This is the spiritual world overlapping with your dimension. And God wants you to be aware, not afraid. Heaven has dispatched a team of angels to your home, yes. Right now, as you read this, angels are walking through your rooms. They're standing at corners. They're hovering near your door. They are preparing your space for what's coming. God says, prepare the space, anoint the door. Clean your floor with prayer, speak aloud to the air. This house belongs to the Lord and no evil can enter here. There is a particular item in your home that has held energy not of God. Archangel Michael says you felt strange about this object before. Maybe you thought it was just your mind, but it's real. You were discerning. Now is the time to remove it, whether it was a gift, an old possession, or something you never really liked but kept anyway. Its presence is blocking divine flow. God says, someone you know who often smiles at you has mentioned your name in a setting of jealousy. They don't want to see your joy multiply. They've noticed how even when you struggle, God keeps